Samsung's got a brand new smartwatch, the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2, and I got a chance to wear it. It is the second big Samsung smartwatch this year. How is it different than the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active that came out alongside the Galaxy S10? Well, I'm going to tell you. Now I have right here the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. I don't have the Watch 2 yet, though you'll see that I got to wear it and play around with it. The Active took the approach of being a more affordable and sleeker version of Samsung's previous smartwatches, ones that looked more like traditional watches and had this rotating bezel on the outside. The Watch Active dropped that, but it gained the ability to be more affordable, have this smaller design, have this easier touchscreen interface, and to charge from the back of Samsung's newest phones, which is great. In fact, I don't even know where the charger is for my Watch Active, and so I'm glad that I can just charge it right from the back of the S10. That feature is still on the Galaxy Watch Active 2, but it adds some health features, notably ECG. But just wait, ECG, much like the Apple Watch has on the Series 4, can gain a extra heart reading through a timed sample that can look at extra detailed information about your heart rhythm. That can matter if you want to check out any problems in arrhythmia in your heart that you might want to tell your doctor about. But Samsung doesn't have FDA clearance for this yet. In fact, it's not cleared for any markets yet, which means that we're probably not going to see this activated until maybe sometime next year. One thing that is great about the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 is the bezel's back, that little rotating thing. Kind of. It's a touch edge now. And so it's a haptic response if you've used Samsung's Edge phones and touch the edge and be able to swipe them. The idea is similar here in that if you move your finger around the edge of the display, it'll be able to swipe between apps, and you'll get this really strong haptic feedback, like a rhythmic tapping that feels like clicks. I felt it was really good, and I really liked the bezel before. I think I might like this new feature with touch better because I found that I could operate it with smaller turns on my wrist, and it didn't take up so much space that I felt like I had to turn it. And if you were a Samsung Galaxy Watch owner or one of the Gear watches and you had that bezel, one small thing is that you had to do that to turn it on versus touch the screen. Now you can touch the screen to turn it on, or you can touch the edge. You could do whatever you want. Samsung has some extra health features beyond ECG on this watch that promise better heart rate and general fitness tracking accuracy. Kind of similar to what Apple did with the Apple Watch S4, in that it could provide better tracking overall. The heart rate monitor now uses 8 LEDs instead of 4 in the Galaxy Watch Active, and the accelerometer is supposed to register 32 Gs of force versus 16 Gs before. Apple used that stuff to do things like fall detection, which Samsung may or may not have on the Galaxy Watch Active 2. The Watch Active 2 also comes in 2 sizes now, 40 and 44 millimeter. The 44 millimeter is kind of the size of the larger Apple Watch, and the 40 is kind of like the size of the smaller Apple Watch. But the 40 millimeter Watch Active 2 actually has a slightly bigger screen than the 40 millimeter Watch Active from earlier this year. So that's nice. Now you're paying up for the Watch Active 2. It's $279 or $299 versus $199 for the Watch Active. Now that might make you feel good if you bought the Watch Active because you're still got the more affordable watch, but you may not have the premium watch. There's also an LTE-equipped version of the Watch Active 2, and Samsung's done cellular-equipped smartwatches forever. They were the first ones to really be doing it. Now on this new version, you should be able to do a lot of key away from phone features, things like getting calls, connecting to social media, Twitter, YouTube, being able to listen to music. Spotify is going to be supported for streaming, so that's really cool. But the price on those is TBD. Samsung says it's dependent on carriers, so we'll have to see how expensive that gets. In the past, they've definitely been high $300 range types of watches, which I would expect. Plus, you have to pay a monthly fee to your carrier to use those services, which isn't always worth it. But the design on the LTE version is a bit nicer. It's a stainless steel case versus the aluminum case on the Watch Active 2 that's Bluetooth. One cool style note, now this does exist on other watches, but I think it's pretty cool on this one, is a style guide that helps you pick a watch face to match what your clothing you have. So the idea is that you take a photo of your shirt pattern or whatever you have, and the Samsung Watch app, the Galaxy Watch Active app, will pick a new background and generate one that you could pick out like a tie or a pocket square so you can wear a watch face that matches what you've got. I was weirdly charmed by this. I think it's cool. I feel like more watches should just have that, because picking a watch face is a fun but annoying process. Another cool feature on the Watch Active 2, and maybe it'll come to other Galaxy Watch models, is the ability to add Google Translate on wrist. So that's a useful feature. I'd love to see more Google features on the Samsung watches, even though they run Tizen, which is a separate software ecosystem, separate apps. Adding more Google features would be a great move. I'm still not wild about the fact that Samsung is basically coming out with 2 watches staggered over the course of a year. It makes it really confusing whether you're looking for a watch that's coming out alongside the Galaxy phones or alongside the Note phones. The Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 is going to come in 4 colors: black, silver, gold, and lily gold. And it's coming out September 27th. So that's going to be, into the fall, and probably alongside a new Apple Watch and maybe other wearables. So how will it compare? We're going to have to see. And the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 does seem like it's going to be the best Android smartwatch out there. But if you've got a Samsung phone or any Android phone, I mean, it even pairs with iPhones, but the features are not that great. It definitely looks like one of the greatest ones. I think it would be worth going to the 279 model over the Watch Active. But stay tuned for more details on it, and we'll see how well the fitness and coaching modes go. We're going to have to see how that plays out when we test it.